Hi, good morning. Today we will discuss about amateur astronomy. Astronomy is a scientific study of planets, stars, galaxies, interstellar medium, intergalactic medium, etc. So we'll start with the concept of celestial sphere. As you all know, celestial sphere is an imaginary sphere with Earth at its center. The concept of celestial sphere was put forward by Ptolemy in 2nd century. According to Ptolemy, celestial sphere is an imaginary sphere whose radius is 20,000 times that of the Earth, and all other celestial objects or the astronomical objects can be considered to be attached inside the celestial sphere. And the projection of Earth's equator on the celestial sphere is termed as celestial equator. Then the apparent path of sun along the celestial sphere is termed as ecliptic. Ecliptic and celestial equator are termed as two great circles on the celestial sphere. And these two great circles intersect at 2 points which are called as equinoxes. One is called as vernal equinox and the other one is called as autumnal equinox. As you can imagine or guess, the vernal equinox occurs during spring season and the autumnal equinox occurs during the autumn season. Now, the coordinates on the celestial sphere is used for giving the location of astronomical objects or the so-called heavenly object. There are different coordinate systems which are equatorial coordinate system, ecliptic coordinate system, alt-azimuth system, horizontal system, etc. So we will discuss about the equatorial coordinate system, which is based on celestial equator and poles. Celestial poles are the projection of Earth's north and south pole on celestial sphere. In the equatorial coordinate system, there are two coordinates termed as declination and right ascension, which are analogous to the concept of latitude and longitude on Earth. And declination is similar to the latitude, which are circles with decreasing radius, and declination is the angular distance measured northward or southward from the celestial equator. It can vary from 0 to 90 degree towards north and 0 to minus 90 degree towards south. And right ascension is the angular distance measured eastward direction from the vernal equinox. It can vary from 0 to 360 degrees and it is expressed in unit of hours, minutes and seconds with the correspondence that 24 hours is equivalent to 360 degrees. And the other coordinate systems based on the celestial equator are ecliptic coordinate system and alt-azimuth coordinate system, which we may not be discussing today. Now, let us move on to the topic of optical astronomy. As majority of you may be knowing, the astronomical objects emits radiations of different wavelength or frequency corresponding to its energy. For example, some of them may be emitting X-rays, some of them may be emitting radio waves, some of them may be emitting gamma rays, and some objects may be emitting radiations in visible light, which can be observed with our naked eye. And the branch called as optical astronomy deals with the astronomical observations carried out in the region of electromagnetic spectrum to which our human eye is sensitive. Let us see the correspondence between some observed quantities and the inferences we can make based on them. For example, if we are observing the position of an object, that will give us an idea about the distance to that particular object, and also we can study about the proper motion of that star or any other astronomical object. And if we observe the brightness of an object, we will get an idea about its luminosity, and also the luminosity is directly proportional to the mass of the object, and also it's proportional to the radius of the object. Again, the color of an object is an indication of its temperature and also the interstellar absorption. Similarly, if we can obtain the spectrum of an object, we will get an idea about its chemical composition, its radial velocity, its age, etc. So, we will be discussing about the optical telescopes which are used for observing the astronomical objects which emits radiations in visible range. As we can imagine, with the telescope we can observe objects clearly and magnified. That means the primary purpose of a telescope is to collect light, and the secondary purpose is to magnify the image. Correspondingly, there are two major parts of the objects. The part of the telescope used for collecting light is termed as its objective, and the part of the telescope used for magnifying the image is termed as its eyepiece. So, based on this, the objective can be a lens or mirror. If a lens is used as the objective of the telescope, that is called as a refractor or refracting telescope. And if a mirror is used as the objective of the telescope, or if a mirror is used for collecting light in a telescope, that telescope is called as a reflector or reflecting telescope. Usually, the size of a telescope, like 1 meter, 2 inches, like that specifies the size of the diameter of its objective. Now, let us see the details of refracting and reflecting telescopes one by one. In a refracting telescope, as we have already seen, a lens is used as the objective. The light from the astronomical object enters the telescope through the objective lens, which is kept at the front end of the telescope, and the light bends or get refracted and get focused at the focal point. The distance between the objective lens and the focus is termed as the focal length of the objective lens, and using the eyepiece we can magnify the image and observe it, or we can view it through the eyepiece. And in case of reflecting telescope, we use mirror as the objective, and if we are using mirror as the objective, we are getting the light reflected back. So we have to keep the mirror at the back end of the telescope tube, and the light from the astronomical objects enters the tube, gets reflected backward, and we can keep the eyepiece at the focus, or we can use secondary mirrors so that it gets reflected again towards the eyepiece. In case of Newtonian reflecting telescope, we use a flat mirror as a secondary mirror so that it gets multiply reflected towards the hole through the side of the telescope. That is called as Newtonian reflector. And there is one more design called as Cassegrain reflector. In case of Cassegrain reflector telescope, we use a convex mirror as a secondary mirror, and the light reflected from the primary mirror gets reflected again from the secondary mirror, and it is passed through a hole cut in the primary mirror. This type of design is called as Cassegrain telescope. Now let us see the picture of a Newtonian reflector telescope. Now, in the next topic, we will be discussing about the telescope mounts, which are used for supporting the mass of the telescope and also which helps for the accurate pointing of the telescope. That we will see in the next session. Thank you. That's all for today.